So here I have just the handout. It just has everything on there that I have used or will use. And some of y'all have probably heard some of these things, and that's totally fine. I'm going to go through them anyway, just to make sure everyone understands, or if you have questions or whatever. And there might be some things that I don't know. And if you want to share with others here of something that I didn't touch on, or you know more than I do, then by all means, please go ahead. Okay, so when we went into AMI instruction in the spring, it was overwhelming. It was all of a sudden. Admin was confused, and they did a great job planning it, but everyone was just unsure with how things were going to go. My colleagues and I, we just wanted the kids to play at that point. Like, a lot of it was just an escape for them, and so we just did a lot of games and challenges and different ways to submit videos and all of that. So I'll go through assignments that we did, enrichment activities that we did, and then links that we used within our Google Classroom. So I'll just start here. So these are just helpful links for virtual band instruction. This is mainly for the students. Some of these are things that you can use if you do like screen recording and you want to teach during that time, that's fine too. So the first one is EdPuzzle. I'm sure a lot of y'all have probably heard of this or might have even used it. But essentially what it is, you can upload YouTube videos into your archive, and it gives live quizzes within the video. So it's forcing the kids to actually watch the video, answer the questions, engage, and then it grades it for you. So one of the things that I found that was incredibly overwhelming with going virtual was the fact that I was calling parents more. There was more parent contact, there was more student contact through email and Google Classroom, and then you had parents trying to call you, trying to text you. And I tried to find ways to kind of minimize my need to grade myself, just because there was more focus on parent communication, student engagement. I tried to do private lessons, which I'll get to that in a second. And so EdPuzzle was a great way to engage the kids, have an automatic grade put in, and all that. So I'll just show you if you're just unsure with what I'm talking about. So here it opens up. It just has these are things that I have used or saved. So I did one. So I'll show you one of my personal videos I made. I uploaded it, and it was medieval music. And I don't know if you'll be able to hear the audio, but that doesn't really matter. So I taught, and then a question comes up. I don't know if it'll do it. So then a question pops up, and some of the questions were easy. I just wanted them to stay engaged. But so they would answer the question of something that I just talked about, and they would submit it and then continue on in the video. So let me move this part. There we go. So what it looks like, you have different classes. It actually connects to your Google Classroom. So you can import your classes. It kind of sets you up to do that. You can click new class. There's class options up here. You can rename it if you want to. But if you sign in with your Google account that's connected to the Google Classroom, it'll import your students and all of that. So you do not personally have to do that. You don't have to type in individual student names. So anyway, if I went to, this is where most of my kids were. It might not let me do it right now, just because those have been archived, sorry. This is kind of what it looks like. This is not a very accurate description. I had to archive my Google Classroom, so it's not popping up. But it does tell you if they watched it all the way, Here, what would happen is if you had it go ahead and automatically grade, the grades would be right here. And so it's just an easy transfer of typing it into eSchool or whatever grading application you use. Let me go back to content. So what you can do, you can look through EdPuzzle. So let's say I want to do like music theory. There's going to be a bunch of videos that have already been used and already have quizzes on them, or you can edit it yourself. I'm just going to use this first one. I don't know if it's good or not, but we'll just use this first one. So it's already been made for you, and it automatically has the quiz in there for you. Open-ended questions, you do have to grade yourself, so you have to go in and kind of edit, but once again, it kind of archives that for you, or preps you for that. It asks you that. So let's see if we can make one. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna click. So what I did, if you missed that, sorry. I clicked on YouTube. So this is after you sign in. Let's say you have your classes signed up. You go to YouTube. You click whichever video you want, and then you can click on it to see if that's the one that you want to use. You click edit. And then here you can start adding things. So I'm going to press play, and let's say I get to this part and I want to add a question. So I would go to questions up at the top, and you can do voiceover and you can cut it. Voiceover is essentially you stop the video and you can interject whatever you want, and then it continues playing once the kid has heard that. I like to do multiple choices just because it can automatically grade it for you. You would type in your question here, and then you would do your multiple choice. The check mark means that that is the correct answer. The X means that that is the incorrect answer. And then you click save and you go on. Open-ended questions, you just type your question here and then you save and you go on, and you'll just keep doing that throughout the video. Once you're done, you just click finish and you're ready to go. And then at that point, you can click assign. Okay, so assign, these are my classes right here. And I just press where I want it to be assigned. You click the start date that you want it to obviously start, and then the due date. And then you want to prevent skipping. That typically is the idea behind this. So you want to make sure that the kids are forced to see it. And then you click assign, and that's it. And it automatically links up to your Google Classroom with a link, and that's pretty much it. There are public links if you don't really need Google Classroom, or maybe you don't have Google Classroom. You can do public links and post it into whatever platform you're using. So that's just a little bit about EdPuzzle. And honestly, I have a lot to cover just because I want to give you this is how I typically do presentations, but I want to give you as much information as I can. And because once you're in it, usually you can kind of figure out how to work it, or you can look up YouTube or whatever, but I'm just letting you know how it works. Simple steps to get through things. And if you have any questions, again, like at the end, I'd be more than welcome, to answer them. So that's a little bit about EdPuzzle. I'm sure a lot of y'all have used that before. EduCandy is a lot of fun. This is kind of a new one for me. It might not be for you, but it is for me, and it's very cool. So essentially what it is a way for you to test terminology with kids. Let me sign in real quick so you can kind of see what I did. You can sign in with Google Classroom. I'm sorry, not Google Classroom, with your Google account. So here are different types of games. There's like word searches, there's pairing games, and then there's quizzes. I haven't set my quiz up yet, but so for example, let's do words. I want to play. You can play hangman, you can play anagrams, and you can do word searches. So this is just kind of a fun little game if you're looking for something, like if you're categorized as an enrichment class, where meaning you don't get a grade, they just need activities to do. This would be an easy one to do, and it's engaging and it's fun. You can matching pairs. Essentially what you do is you set up your activity. So I'll do music terms 1, do band, and then create. And then it pops up and it's going to ask you to type in a question and then the answer that goes with the question. So ends the music, and we know that that is a double bar line. Okay, and then I click add pair, and you kind of do this throughout, and it catalogs it over to the side so that you know what you have and what you don't have. Let's do music staff, 5 lines, 4 spaces. We'll add it. Okay. And so I just continue on doing those vocabulary words, and then that is it. Okay. So then you can go to my activities, and it should be there. There it is. And if you want to share the activity with your students, here it is. You just copy, or you can embed it. But if you are doing Google Classroom, you'll want to copy the link up here. But it's just a fun little website. So if you need to do review or whatever, that's a good way to do it. So that's EduCandy. BandLab, I actually have had, I did this in class, not necessarily virtually, although I did this for an enrichment assignment. But you can go to edubandlab.com. It's free. You can create classrooms within it. The students just sign up with Google if you're a Google school, and it has looping, electronic sounds, all of that fun stuff. And I actually had my Benton kids compose something where they had a backtrack. They created their backtrack, and then they played their instrument over it. Once again, during AMI, I just wanted my kids to play. Like, I just wanted them to be engaged. So these are my classes that I had set up. But essentially, you click create class, you set up your class. So I'll just do music class. And then you click save, and there it is. It opens up. You click new assignment. Sure, publish assignment. And then it pops up. And essentially what it's going to do is the kids would click on a link. We can't see it here because we're on the teacher view, but the kids would see it there, and they would open up to their composition. So I'll show you kind of, I had way too much fun with this. Sorry. So let me see. There we go. So you open it up. It's just a looping. It's very easy to use. It is not hard at all. The kids can record in it. It's easy to share. You know, you can see everyone's music in real time. But anyway, it's just looping. If I go to loops down here, this is what the kids will see. There's all kinds of different sounds. That's weird. I don't know if y'all can hear that. I don't think y'all can. But there's all kinds of different loops. If you like a loop, you just plug it in, and voila. And you can talk about, you know, what does the bass line do? What does the synth do? I mean, there's all kinds of, and there's all kinds of genres too. There's like 80s and punk and, you know, all of that. So, but this kind of gives them a creative outlet, which is honestly something that we can't do in band, where kids have this creative outlet. So it was kind of see my kids using their brains in that sense, instead of just being told to play this note and make it sound like this. They created it. But yeah, it's free. It's great. I use it all the time. FlipGrid. I'm sure y'all have heard of this too. I think I already have one open. Yes, FlipGrid. So FlipGrid is an app and a website. So if your students don't have one-to-one at school, this is a great way for them to just download an app, and you still get those video submissions that you're wanting. I love it over Google Classroom video submissions, only because you can give video responses back. It's not text. So I can go in and give a video response to a kid real quick and say, hey, when you played measure 5, you know, you missed your quarter note. It needs to go like this. And I can sing it, hum it, tap it, clap it, whatever I need to do. So this is a great way to engage your students in that. And then it's also fun because they can add like emojis and stickers, and they can do different backgrounds or whatever they want to do. But this is just a great way to have a little bit of fun with video submissions. We did video submissions in this particular platform with FlipGrid for pass-offs, which are things that our kids have to pass off in order to go to the next level in band. So they were not necessarily for a grade, but it was only for feedback. And I have like a sticker chart and all of that. Let me kind of show you real quick. So this is what it looks like. Let's do, so this was the first one that we did, and I allowed them to video and submit it. You can do a video explanation of what you are expecting your kids to accomplish in these videos. So here is mine. I don't think you can hear it. I just, once again, realized that. But here I'm explaining like what's happening. We're going to be doing pass-offs. You're just going to submit them down below, blah, 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 blah. And then, and so, yeah, and so then they submitted. And I personally, I mean, my flute players were little angels last year. There might have been some years I would have not allowed this, but you can change the settings in this. But I allowed my kids to interact with one another. Like they could comment and encourage each other with a video or text. And of course, I'm seeing everything, and this is not, it's not done privately. So I'm monitoring and making sure that they are being proactive, and it's all good with behavior and commenting. But you can see like little emojis, little text right there. There's all kinds of stuff, but I'm not going to show them just because of private content. But yeah, so you can go in and they'll, you know, they'll have a lot of fun with that. I also found too, a lot of my kids had issues uploading videos on a Google Classroom. I don't know if it's because the videos are a bigger file or Google Classroom just isn't set up well to upload videos, but FlipGrid was a very easy way for my kids to record themselves within the app, and uploading took less time, and they were able to edit and add all kinds of fun stuff. So, but I had more video submissions through FlipGrid than I did on my Google Classroom when we went virtual in the spring. So that I really liked. Go back to here. Fingering diagram builder. I had created handouts. We had to do handouts for kids that did not have technology in their house. This is a great website to just create, you know, your fingering diagram, and you can place it into your worksheets if you want. So here's an example of a worksheet that I had created. I did it for every day. So like Monday, do this page, you know, Tuesday, do this page, but here are what the fingering charts look like. So the kids would color in what the fingering was for each note. So there's that, and that was very easy to do. But yeah, so you can click the file that you want, the instrument that you would like, and then that's pretty much it. You can change the color if you want, but and then you just upload it. So you just download, or you can put it in Dropbox. I don't know why they're not Google, but whatever. I think everyone needs to be Google. Okay, so that's Fingering Diagram Builder. I'm sure there are other ones out there. I just really liked this one. It was just very simple and easy to use. The next one is called Cami App. I'm sure y'all have heard this before. If you have not, it can be a game changer if you want to use worksheets that you use in the classroom, or they can even mark up music. But essentially what it is a way to take a PDF and you make it interactive virtually. So here is, oops. Oh, come on.
Stephanie, I'm going to jump in if you'll forgive me. We have a couple questions in the chat.
Yeah.
Charity asks, how did you get the line in the book onto the Word doc?
Okay. Okay, I'm trying to remember how I did that. We use Tradition of Excellence, and it comes with a virtual platform for the kids. Like, they can download the app and it has all of the music that they can play with. So I just got on there, screenshot it, and put it on there. I'll get to in a little bit on how you can just manually put it in, but I'll get to that in a second. But yes, that's how I did that one.
And Kendall asks, lesson planning Monday through Friday, was each day something different? Monday EdPuzzle, Tuesday Educandy, etc., or did you do it in longer blocks or by the week, etc.?
Sure. Okay, so the way that my admin had set things up for in the spring when we went virtual, they made it very clear that it was meant specifically for review content, and electives were only supposed to submit 1 or 2 assignments a week. So I did have a plan in place beforehand, before that was announced, because that was not announced until the second week we went virtual. But I had a plan where Monday was Making Music Monday. And so the kids would submit videos to me of them playing, you know, certain lines. It's just like a normal assignment I would have given. Tuesday was, oh, I have this written down somewhere. Tuesday was like Music Theory Tuesday or something like that. So we would talk about just simple content. And these were not long lessons. It might have been 10 minutes and then an assignment. And then Wednesday was Wacky Scale Wednesday, and we talked about scales. Thursday, don't remember what Thursday was. And then Friday was Pass Off. So that was the days that they would submit videos to pass off. So that's kind of how I had it in my mind until my admin was like, no, you just need to submit 2 assignments a week. And so we just submitted 2 assignments a week. And I have a list of assignments that we did, and I'll get more into that whenever I get to those assignments. Those are good questions.
Terrific.
Any other? Was that it? Okay. All right. So, yep, keep the questions coming if you need it. I'm here to answer as best I can. So the way Cami works, I'm trying to get to my thing and it's not. I'm gonna have to do this for a second. Trying to get to that tab and it's blocking it. Okay. So this is Cami. It connects to Google Classroom, and in fact, I think your schools have to pay for this. I might be wrong, but I know I have access to it. So I'll have to investigate that because I don't know about that. But in my Google Classroom, there is a little button up at the top whenever I'm making assignment. It has the K and the purple circle around it. I can click on that and it automatically opens up Cami. You can import PDFs that you already have, or you can scan a worksheet that you already have and use. And it allows the kids to manipulate the PDF. Not necessarily the text or the pictures, but they can add stuff to it. So they can add text. So they just come over here, click on the text box. I want it to be red text. My name is Stephanie. Not that they would need to do that, but anyway. But I'm just showing you what it can do. It can do drawings. You can erase, you can add shapes, you can circle things, you can have them circle certain notes. Triangle, whatever you want to do. You can insert images if they have images. And yeah, so this is actually just kind of a really neat way to still give your kids worksheets that you want them to see and use and learn from, but make it virtual. So, and they can highlight, oops, well, I'll say that. I think I did that wrong. Hang on. Maybe, yeah, there we go. So you can highlight all that. And then what they would do is they would submit it on their end because it's through Google Classroom. But the way that you would do it, so here, let me see. So you can open a file. You can just go into Google Drive if you want. You can upload the PDF that you want to use. And then once it's uploaded and it looks good to you, you click share and you copy the link if you want. Or you can, for me, like I said, in my Google Classroom, there's a button and I just click the button and it automatically ties in with my Google Classroom. So, but there you go. I think, let me see, where was it? Because I double checked this. I don't know where it was. Trying to see if there, oh, there you go. Create an assignment. So you just go up to the 3 bars at the top of the menu. You click create assignment and it's going to link up to your Google Classrooms. I'm going to select my class period. I'm going to make sure it's all my students. I put in the title, I put in the instructions. If you're unaware of this, make a copy for each student, meaning it's like you're handing out individual pages to students. Students share 1 copy. If you want them to collaborate with something, that's what you would do. Typically not used, but there you go. And or you can have students cannot edit the file, they can only view it. But I don't know why you do Cami if you just want them to use it or just look at it. So, but anyway, there you go. And you would just click assign and then boom, done. So that is Cami. The next one is Clips app. This is on iPhones. I really, really like it. If you don't know me personally, I love creating videos for my kids because I think it just adds an element to just the anticipation of things and keeps them more engaged. But this is just a very, very, very simple way to record yourself. You can add fun elements to it and all of that. Let me show you real quick. One of the things that I did, because I'm a goofball, I made introduction videos to my kids before they started their, like if I had recorded a lesson, I put this little video before the recorded lesson started, kind of like, you know, when you're watching TV and they have the intro music come in, it's kind of like that. But my kids got a kick out of it. I do want to have y'all hear this. I'm going to take out my headphones so that I think y'all will be able to hear it. Hang on just a second. Okay. Can y'all hear me still okay? I'm going to assume y'all can hear me. But here is what it sounds like.
I can hear you, Stephanie. I bet everybody else can too.
All right, thank you.
In that house, get ready to learn, cause it's gonna go fast. We're gonna get our game on, so you better not yawn. It's swim time here, gotta open those ears. What? Miss Williams in the house.
Okay, so that was actually done with the app. Not all of it, but the recording aspect of it was done with the app. I wish I could show you my app, but that might be just something that if you have an iPhone, you can kind of investigate it yourself.
I have 2 important questions, Stephanie.
Yes.
One confirming that is you in the video.
Yes.
And 2, when are we going to see the Ralph Brody versions of these? This has to happen.
Well, stay tuned, I guess. But I was trying, the reason why I made, well, number one, I just hated the monotony of everything, and I'm not a monotonous person. And I found that these videos gave the kids a little bit of a reason to click on the assignment just to see me look like an idiot. because that's what motivates them, I guess. But the way that I did this is I used the Clip app. It's very easy to use. I'm just going to do this because I don't know what else to do. So you can click on scenes, and it actually has backgrounds that you can use, like a green screen. So let me record myself on something, and then I'll let you. My husband is sending me stuff right now. There is a Star Wars one for Star Wars fans out there. It is amazing. There's Finding Nemo. Here, I'll do that one. Okay. Why isn't it? There we go. So it's downloading it. I selected it on the phone. And now it's going to create that green screen. I'm going to record it so you can kind of see it. Oh, I have to hold it down. Sorry. Hello, hi. Okay. And then, so I'm going to play it. And so it makes me look like a hologram. Okay, I'm sure that was a good video. Sorry about that. But it's just a very easy way to, you can do quick slices of video. You can piece things together. There's a lot of animated titles that you can add to it. Like I said, it automatically puts the screen behind you, which is what I did in this video. It was some like, retro 80, reminding me of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's when I love that show. But anyway, and then the music I did in BandLab, and I recorded in GarageBand. For some reason, my BandLab was lagging, so I had to go to GarageBand. But if your BandLab's not lagging, you can just do it in BandLab as well. And then you just piece it together, and there you go. You have that. So I did that kind of as an introduction for my lessons. So, musictheory.net, that's pretty, I'm sure everyone has heard of that, and that's a good outlet as well. I did do a recording. Here it is. This is when I did Wacky Skill Wednesday. We were talking about whole steps and half steps. Oh, that was the introduction video that I added, which y'all don't need to see.
Okay.
What I liked about this was that in musictheory.net, it allows you to have the piano icon here, and you click on it and it has the piano. You can, I'm going to turn down the volume of this so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But you can place dots on the piano so that the kids can see what keys are being pressed down, or you're trying to show them, or whatever. So when I was doing the whole step, half step stuff, let me get to where there's the red dots. There we go. So I'm playing it, and now I'm marking it. So it puts the red dot. And so I'm explaining here the half step and the whole step. Okay, and so I'm actually showing them how that works. So that's one of the cool things about musictheory.net is that if you do screen or record, this is a great way for you to have that instruction on one side and then have the piano on the other side, so you can have a split screen and take care of that. So musictheory.net is a great resource. Screencastify is an extension on Google Chrome. I did pay for it. You don't have to pay for it, but if you don't pay for it, I think you have like a limit of like 5 minutes of recording, or might be less than that. But for me personally, I felt like it was worth it, and I used it all the time. But I paid $30 for a year subscription, and it was just very easy. It connects to your Google Drive, so it automatically saves into Google Drive once you are done with your recording. And let me see if yeah, here it is. The icon is up here in my corner. It's the pink, I guess that's pink color, but you just click on it, and I have the unlimited. It sets up the microphone. You can embed the webcam or not embed the webcam, whatever you want to do. I wanted my kids to see my face just because I'm very gesticular and I like to explain things and do all of that. I don't know, in my head, I guess I think it helps them, but I don't know, probably not. Anyway, but so that's what I did. And it just places, like you saw on the musictheory.net example, my face was in the corner as I was explaining what was going on. But that has probably been the easiest platform of screen recording. I know some people did screen recording on Zoom, but Zoom puts it in a massive file and it takes forever to upload. But I mean, if you did a huge file in Screencastify, it does take a little bit, but it does not take nearly as long as if you did Zoom. But Screencastify is my go-to if you want to screen record. Zboard, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce that. It is just a whiteboard. It is literally a whiteboard. You use it and it is a whiteboard. There is no explanation other than it's a whiteboard. But I was looking for, in particular, a way to use something, and so I don't know why it's create a new board. No, I don't know why it's has all that stuff. I can log in though, and it gets rid of it. Anyway, but there's pencils. There's an eraser. It's a very simple way to do stuff. You can add sticky notes and whatever. So there you go. That's Zboard, and it's free. It does not cost anything, which that's music to my ears. Flat.io. This is a composition software that I personally absolutely 100% love to use. It's very easy. It integrates into Google Classroom. I don't think I put a link to that. Sorry. That's the link though, flat.io. That's the link. Let me get to that real quick. I had my kids, I use virtual learning as a way for my kids to experiment with music in a way that I could not do it in class. So this was just a really neat way to utilize Flat or composition software. You can see it connects to Google Classroom. So I have all of my classes where I can see it. These are my archived classes, so I don't know if it's actually going to show this. But anyway, my music technology used it probably the most. They did superhero villain compositions. You can see if they turned it in, if they turned it in late, if they didn't turn it in at all. These are lies. I don't know why. Oh wait, no, I remember why that happened. Anyway, so they turned them in, and you can click on it and it'll open it up, and you can hear what you can see exactly how they notated everything. You can play it. So this was his composition. By the way, these kids did not have a lot of music theory knowledge, but I've always found that kids just really like the creative aspect of music in this sense. So I just I give them the basic knowledge of like note values, note names, all that. And I kind of guide them through that. But anyway, that was a superhero villain composition project for my music theory class. But anyway, it's just very easy to use. You can see up here that has natural, sharps, flats, has the note values. You can go to articulations, you can go to ornaments, dynamics, you can change the key signature, change the clef, double bar line, repeats, and you can add text if you want. Sometimes my kids like to put lyrics in there, so anyway, so there's that. Flat.io, you do have to pay for it. There is an unpaid version. It has limited features though, but if you want it to be connected to your Google Classroom, you will want to pay for it. I don't remember off the top of my head how much it costs. I haven't put in my PO this year for it, but you can get on there and look up the education rates that they have. Here's an easy key signature identification website. So if you're going over scales, key signatures, whatever, this is a great way to go over it. So it just has it there, and then they tell you what the key signature is. Here is a link to rhythm slides that you can have access to. This is called Slideshare. It's essentially people are just sharing slideshows. So, but I found this one, and it's just got a bunch of rhythms if you need that at all. Royalty-free music. If you don't want to create your own loops for your intro videos, there's royalty-free music, and that's the website that I use if I just want something simple to put in a video. Giphy.com. These are great for GIFs. GIFs make everything better, or GIFs. We won't get into that debate, but anyway. Those are also great. I'll get into real quick how you're going to add those. Flat add-on for Google Docs and slides. This is a great thing. I'm going to go ahead and just use this little packet right here. So let's say I want to add notation into my Google Doc. I go to Flat for Docs. It is an add-on, so you would have to click Get Add-ons and then type in Flat. But you click Insert Musical Snippet. I can decide how I want it to be set up. Let's say I want it to be unpitched, and I want it to be just rhythms, very simple rhythms for my kids to interact with. You just type them in. Let's say I just want it to be 2 measures, and I click Insert, and it automatically puts it into the Google Doc. Life-changing. So there you go. And sorry, I know I'm running out of time. These are just little games that you can do with kids based on fingerings, and I found that they were very helpful. So examples of assignments that we've done, we did a band Olympics for our kids when we were classified as enrichment. And I really played it up in Google Classroom. I was like, guys, we're having so much fun. We're gonna do something amazing. And then I wait a couple days and, oh my gosh, it's almost ready. And I posted this video. So once again, videos just make things better. But this was our band Olympics. It was between band and choir. Anyway, and so then we had the kids, like one of the challenges was who can clap this rhythm the fastest, who can blow bubbles, the longest in a cup. That was a big one. We got a lot of kids engaged in that. And we had a prize for the top 3 kids that did well. And they were like little Sonic gift cards that we just dropped off at their house. So that was Band Olympics. Those were things that we did. Live soundtrack. Oh, I didn't fold that, sorry. Live soundtrack. I just had kids create a soundtrack of their life when they were in virtual learning. And it was like, what would your soundtrack be for when you wake up in the morning? And then they would have to pick a song that would explain their feelings in that moment of, so here's what I'll just show you the handout. That's a better explanation. So quarantine live soundtrack, they can put in the song title, the artist, and the YouTube link, so that I can listen to the song. It's a great get to know you. And then I also added optional that they could create a music video of them doing their quarantine songs. This was mine. Don't judge me. It's not just super great. But I shared it with them so that they would have an idea of the expectations if they did do a music video. I don't know that this can play. That's okay. It might start here in a minute. Google Slide Virtual Classroom. These are my virtual classrooms. This has kind of been a big hit with the bit emoji, but you just create a bit emoji. You create your virtual classroom, and then everything has a link to it. So if I put this in presentation mode, I click on that and it's going to take me to a metronome. And so there's different aspects of this that they can click on and it'll take them to certain things. I like to add GIFs, whatever, to mine. And they will click on, so this is for my electronic music lesson that I do for my music technology class. They can click on people and it'll take them to different presentations, YouTube videos explaining different styles. Here's one for my video game one. And then here's one for my film score study unit that I do. When you do this, it is very important that you publish to the web and then you share the link. If you share the slideshow, and I know this from experience, if you share the slideshow, it is not going to force them to see it as presentation mode. It's going to put it in a format that looks like this. So you want to go to publish to the web, and then you get the link, you press publish, and then a link will pop up and you share that link with your kids. So make sure that you don't share the slideshow, you post it to the web. So there's that. I did lunch with my kids once a week. They got a big kick out of that through Zoom. Composition projects, you can look through that. Intro video, I already talked about. Recruitment, real quick. I know some people probably have not gotten to where there might be recruiting right now at the beginning of school. So I just wanted to share real quick what we did. This was our Google form that we had set up. The parents would type in their email address. We had personal information typed in. We asked if they had previous music knowledge, what grades, what's your favorite subject, what do you do for extracurricular. We had them watch a video explaining the instruments. Did you watch the video? Yes. Do you have a teardrop in your upper lip? What does buzzing look like? Can you buzz? How tall are you? And then I had them pick their first choice, second choice, and third choice. I did audition instruments, which we Zoomed each kid that did an audition instrument, which was percussion and saxophone. And I had them do coordination exercises and ear training. Third choice. And then we did ask them about, where is it? Financial assistance. And then we did have information there just saying, these are expectations of you purchasing an instrument. What is that going to look like? And so on and so forth. And then, oh, I did want to show you all this too. We started it off with a Google slide, which I had created through the web. So I published it in the web. Tells them how to purchase. What instrument did you select? They would click on the instrument and it would take them to the slide that is specific to that child's instrument. Okay, so it has brands, mouthpieces, etc., and then just simple information at the end. But when you publish it to the web, it forces it into presentation mode. It is not in something that looks like you can edit it. So it just looks it looks more professional when you do it in that sense. I know I'm running out of time. We did play-alongs, but I'm actually thinking if our beginners are playing when we go virtual, I'm thinking about having my 7th graders create play-alongs and send me the videos, and I submit the videos into Google Classroom for my 6th graders to play with them. I think it's a good leadership exercise, and the kids can explain a little bit about the piece. Here's how you play it. Here are the things that you might mess up on, and then they play it, and the beginners play along. And then we did private lessons, and they signed up through Google Form. So that is it. I know I am stretching time, but so if you have any questions, I am more than willing to answer them as best I possibly can.
Stephanie, it's a ton of information. Thank you so much.
Hope that wasn't too much.
No, the handout's going to be brilliant. I mean, I know my head is spinning even just thinking about some of the possibilities. I'm sure others are as well. Feel free to unmute yourself, anybody, if you have questions. Carrie says this was great. I could not agree more. Everybody saw in the chat, all we have to do is get Ralph a keytar, and he's now committed that he would do these videos. So I'm sure we can make that happen between the resources, everybody. That's imperative. That we get Ralph a keytar right away. I was asked by our friends at Music for All. I forgot I had my video muted here. I'll put this back on. I just put in the chat the link to musicprofessor.com.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, Stephanie, if you're aware of this, I'm just now learning a bit myself. Music for All is paired up with Music Professor. And I'm beginning to see huge amounts of content in Music Professor. If you click the link, colleagues, you're going to start seeing $79, $99 and more subscription fees for this. Kind of indicative of how much content that is there. But as I understand it right now, in the collaboration with Music for All, Music Professor now is offering the access at $5 per student. And as opposed to being a bit of a guinea pig, she was a high school flute player when she was in high school, which was a little while ago. And she is now following through with Music Professor's beginning flute program, and is doing the exercises, and is going to social media post and maybe even blog along the way. She says she's through 3 or 4 units from beginning fluting, and her goal is to play the Texas All-State audition music when she's able, which she kidded. She said she was not able to do when she was at her best in high school. So we'll see how that process works. We're looking at this at Tech as part of the tools in our methods classes. Potentially our trumpet majors will get on Music Professor and work flute, clarinet, saxophone. Jim is looking at the theory content for Theory 1. There's conducting content at Music Professor as well. And I really look forward to getting into this. It's about a day that I've been looking at Music Professor, and have some work to do to share it with our studio colleagues and methods folks as well. And I really look forward to looking at all the links you've shared with us, Stephanie. If you're still here, it looks like maybe the screen went away.
I stopped the share video, or the share screen, sorry.
So Jerry asked, where do we find the handout? Jerry, it's above in the chat. There's links in 2 different places in the chat to the handout. If you scroll up, if you still don't see it, it's the web address with the weekly materials. So with that, any questions, anybody for Stephanie before we let her go? Well, just thank you again, Stephanie. Appreciate the time. And is your email address or contact information in those materials?
Yes, it's at the very bottom. So if y'all have any questions later on, you are more than welcome to email me. And by the way, it's not a keytar, it's actually a melodica.
Well,
because melodicas rock. But thank you so much for letting me get on and do this. I appreciate it. Y'all were amazing.
Thank you.